See, I think that's a better way, is to chase your cut as opposed to make two cuts. Yes, you have to cut more, but it'll turn out smoother. If you're burning it up, it's you're pushing too hard. Like a hot knife through butter. All right. But this cut's really pretty. But these are so clean and pretty, and they've already planed them down to size. So we're gonna build this and put it together. It's gonna be beautiful.
Is this what you're looking for?
No, that's a 6-inch. We need a 4-inch. Just like that, but smaller. Okay, so these are 7 1/4. Half of 7 1/4 is 3 5/8. So 3 5/8. So what I like to do is I like to kind of sand out the center of the post, and that way as it's making a connection with whatever else it's connecting to, that it's not being held up in the middle if there's a bit of a hump. That way all 4 edges can sit down tight and seal up tight, as opposed to having a bump in the middle that's leaving a bit of a reveal around the edge. So it doesn't take much to just turn on the grinder and go over it a little bit and make sure that it's nice and flat. That's all she wrote. I'm going to shift this into low gear so it's easier to manage.
I will brace.
Beautiful. We've offset this because of where it sits on the foundation and the width of the timber. This is where we want it to line up. So we've intentionally offset this whole 1 inch. So we like to coat the bottoms of our timbers with this copper coat. And this copper coat will it'll protect that bottom from moisture, from rot, and even though this timber is going to sit on a pressure treated timber, if we coat it with this, it's just going to be added insurance that over time nothing's going to happen to the bottom of that timber. little bit of this copper coat will definitely help preserve that natural lumber and keep it from soaking up moisture and rotting and other issues that come along. So it's kind of expensive, but it's definitely something you want to put on the bottom of your timber to help protect it. Down a little. Pull it out. That tips up. This is the Milwaukee Whole Hog. If you're not familiar with this particular drill, you should become familiar with this drill. It's got tons and tons of torque. It can spin these monster bits, and we've got bits that are even bigger than these. But you've got a high-low speed selection, and then you've got a front and forward and reverse button here. So we're drilling holes for the all thread that ties into the foundation in these. And if we had to try and drill this with a little 1/2-inch drill, it would burn up that motor in no time. We just want to get that. So here's the issue that we're up against. Weather's beautiful and things are melting, and you can see all the snow is, our piles used to be 5 foot high, they're now 3 foot high. But because it's getting up to 47 degrees, pushing 50, our roads are getting really soft out there, and so the county has some restrictions on how much weight we can put on the road, and the issue is our trusses. Now the trusses on this house are 46 foot long. We're 38 foot wide at the house, and then there's eaves that stick out another 4 foot on each side. So you take 38 foot and you add 8 foot to that, we're 46 foot wide. So at 46 foot wide, it means our trusses are 46 foot long. And because they're attic trusses, they're really heavily built, 2x10s for bottom cords, 2x8s for top cords, in order to carry the weight of that second floor inside that truss. So it's gonna be a little bit of a fist fight. We'll have to have the truss company come out as close to the job as they can with a semi truck, and then they'll unload a few trusses at a time onto a smaller truck that has 4-wheel drive that then can drive into the job. And then once you're on the job, we've got a crane, but we hope we can get in. We don't have it in here yet, but we hope we can get that crane in here and lift those trusses up and get them set on the roof. So we're kind of getting ready for that. We've got to finish up some odds and ends, check some walls, put in some bracing, finish top plating. That's the kind of stuff that we're working on, waiting for the conditions to be right to bring those trusses in on the road. So what that's going to look like is probably starting at 4:30 in the morning or something, while it's still cold and it's still freezing at night. We've got the advantage of the frost and frozen roads. We'll then try and bring in all the trusses, start bringing them in, and then setting them on the roof. So it'll be a big day as we set all these trusses. But right now we'll just keep trying to get ready and look for that opportunity where I can line up the truss guys to deliver them and shuttle them in, and line up the crane company to set the trusses, and we'll go from there. Okay, and then you can just loop it onto the Where you at, Chief?
I'm over here.
You happy?
You can come down a little.
Why would I come down?
Oh, I was just seeing that gap. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
This way. Sure, angle it up. Get down at the bottom of that other one, see how it's...
Coming your way?
Yep.
So there, here we're driving the angle at 45 so that we can tie these two beams, this one and this one, together. So our screws will come in like this and pull it tight and get it nice and snug. And the reason we drill such big holes is because we're using these 8-inch timber lock screws, and as you can see, it wouldn't go through the timber inlet, so that's why we have to drill these holes. And that is how it's done.